there was a challenge on YouTube to actually talk about the reasons why you do a YouTube channel and also the reason you go to YouTube. Well, the most obvious answer is to find other people's expertise and, pretty much respect anybody who gets really good at anything. Like, it's just the time and energy it takes to get super good at a skill is always impressive to me. But there is another reason, and I think everybody probably has multiple reasons, but I will tell you mine. We'll walk by our very swollen creek just for the fun of it while I'm talking about it. But for me, I think I've told you guys before that I'm a novelist. I'm a creative writer, freelance writer, and write different pieces for different things. But my ultimate goal is to be traditionally published with a novel. And on Monday, not that long ago, a couple days ago, I actually got a rejection from one of my dream publishing houses. And it's Revell, Christian fiction industry is what I'm after. So, but that makes you always kind of go back to your grassroots of what you're doing and why you're doing it and what you want to do next and all of that. And I think that how does that have anything to do with the YouTube channel? Well, I think it's made me understand very much that the YouTube community, the gardening and all the skills and everybody's peeks into everybody's little lives, it kind of helps me feel like I'm one amongst many who's chasing dreams and trying to, do something a little bit hard workish, right? There's hard work in it, and there's things that succeed and things that fail, but there's a learning curve and things that you have to do along the way to make the dream come true. And I don't know, for me, it came to play pretty quickly on Monday when I got that news. I was like, I know that that's hard news. I know it's supposed to discourage me, but it kind of didn't. It's like, I would rather look at it like, I had a piece of work, a novel, that was on the desk of Revell, which is one of my, it's like big companies for me. And that's something I want to value instead of feel like, oh man. Of course you'd want the yes, that's always part of it. But with that said, it's kind of like the seeds on a smaller scale. You plant all these seeds and you have, I don't know about you, but hope is a goal setter. And when you set out your plans for your spring garden or your flower bed, you end up with this image in your mind of what it's all going to look like when it comes together. And then what it really ends up looking like when it comes together is usually pretty great, but not like what you imagined. And some things don't make it, some things are planted late, some things don't thrive, and can be a little disappointment in there. But you don't get to have it unless you do it. So I am squeezing between trees. I am continuing to chase my dream, and I know that sounds funny, but the rejections are supposed to discourage, but instead it's almost like there's a little feisty on the inside of you, just like the gardener people that I know. There's a little bit of, yeah, well, let's see what we can do next time. Just learn a little bit more. I do think there is something about being on YouTube with people who are continually facing their things that they want to get good at, and facing the things they want to get good at, being willing to do the hard work of becoming excellent or educated or practiced or whatever word you want to use. And so it's not a go back to the drawing board. The story that I wrote is great. It might be for another company or whatever, but it means keep learning, keep growing, don't give up, keep chasing the dream. So this is my destination. Isn't it pretty? All blown out, goodness sakes, all winterized. Very Oregon, right? Very Oregon. Very wet. But we're not buried in snow like some of y'all. And birds are starting to come out. Just so pretty. Dogs! Come on back! Come on, puppies! See if they'll come. See if they'll actually obey right on camera. Come on, doggies! Oh, there's one. Should be 3 of them. Maybe 4. I'm not sure who came on. Come on! There's one. There's one. So we need one more. Come on, baby! Hopefully she can find her way back to me. Baby! Oh, there she is. I see her. Come on, you kiddo. My mom and dad's dogs, they're not quite so nature driven. It's a schnauzer and a Yorkie mix, so a schnorky, and a poodle and a schnauzer mix, so a schnoodle. And they're darn cute. Tiny little guys. When my parents are soaking it up in Florida, I get to be here enjoying that beautifulness. So, seeds are planted. Maybe I'll give you guys a show on that. But I guess my ultimate thing I would want to say today is, you know, your pottage or garden, my pottage or garden, it is a pottage or garden because it has kitchen herbs in it, and it has flowers in it, and it has a place to sit, and it creates a sanctuary, and it's a place of retreat. So the YouTube is also that, especially in the winter when you can't quite be outside. It's a place of retreat where your creative energies can be refreshed and renewed, and you can remember, like, oh yeah, there's beautiful things out there. This is possible. These dreams that I'm after are kind of fun. Let's keep chasing them. And on top of all of that is I'm still figuring out this whole winter garden thing. And I just was looking up my almanacs. I was trying to figure out my last frost date, which I have two. That was a hill, downhill. Did you see that? Downhill. There's two last frost dates. The almanac says that my last frost date is the last day of March, but the other one I've always used says the 14th of April, which I think the 14th of April is a little more practical and accurate, year dependent, but I know that I can actually plant quite a bit of stuff before then and have it not necessarily die. So my seedlings are planted, and I was thinking that I was jumping the gun and doing it way early. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they're right on time. Maybe my journey as a novelist, as a writer, is right on time. Maybe your entrepreneurial dreams, your YouTuber dreams, your skill that you're trying to become excellent at, or your curiosity, your creative outlet, whatever it is, maybe it's right on time and you're right where you're supposed to be too. And so I'm just gonna go with that. So, Oregon prettiness right here. Look at that hill of ivy right behind me. Believe it or not, there's actually a tiny little stream in the midst of that. You could probably maybe hear it, but it's definitely a lot of water. And so that's why I do YouTube. That's a challenge. Oh my goodness. The person that I saw this challenge from was new to me. Bill and Val did it from the UK. Two Plots of Heaven. But they actually referenced another gal who had done it, and that gal had referenced another gal who'd done it. So I'll have to tag her in here and tell her I did it, but she's new to me. She actually took the time to comment on one of my fireside videos and kind of made my day, especially after hearing about my rejection. You know, sometimes you have to remember that the little things in the midst of your routine, mundane life are usually where the value is, even if you're chasing something bigger. You still have to get to your bigger thing based off the building blocks of your small days. And so I wanted to thank her, but I don't actually know her name yet because she's brand new to me. So I will, so new person to me. So I think, so I'll have to just come and post you on there and then like link some of it just to honor you. But that is kind of where I'm at and enjoying the time of year. Oh, we got Canadian geese flying over. You can hear them. Enjoying the property here a little bit. And I don't know. I do know that as a writer, the part of the reason that I'm on YouTube is because they tell us to do this grandiose thing, like build a platform. It's all the marketing, all the connecting, all of that. But it's tricky to do that when you actually don't have anything to sell. I don't have a book yet. So it's basically like, come like me just because you like me. So when you guys subscribe and you follow me and all of that, it actually shows up on my proposal, which goes out before these publishing houses, and it can bless me and make it so that things come together more easily. So if you do that, that would be greatly appreciated. And I will go back to my editing in progress with a fresh fervor for Chasing Dreams. And, you know, times and seasons. We're in the middle of winter. Spring is coming. Spring is showing itself on a regular basis to be close. And, you know, the creek bed will go back down and the sun will come back out. And someday this girl is going to have a publishing contract. That's the way it's going to be. Well, look at that. We lost the tree all by itself. Rotted. Yeah, you gonna try to go over that? Well, I see how you are. Crazy. I kind of like this new habit I've got of putting on little fun, entertaining things at the end of my videos. So these are just pictures I took because I thought they were beautiful. And then I have a little update on something that happened on our property. So I wanted to show, this is the forest on the back fence that shades my garden. It's got a lot of trees in it that are just fine, but there's quite a few in there that are dead. And they've been dead for years, or who knows, maybe they're sick, I don't know. But this one fell over in the last storm and it went all the way over to the top of our shop. So the neighbors are supposed to be calling in an arborist at some point to try to figure out what the best plan of attack is. So obviously it's not very good for our little fence. And so we will have to do some work back there. I'm actually babysitting. My mom and dad are in Florida enjoying some sunshine while we're over here being clouded in normal Oregon gray gloom. And there's a couple little puppies. Rosie. So here comes the other one. Anyways, that's what we're up to. I want to show you the river that's high waters too.